Good morning. Welcome to another Pebble in the Pond video. Continuation in the Head-On series in the books of the Bible. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 5. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. That is God's vineyard, right? And the vineyard here is going to be in verse 7. The host is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are the pleasant plants within it. So it's his vineyard, these people. So my beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, his beloved being Jerusalem, the house of Israel and Judah. And he fenced it, that is, God hedged it up, and he gathered out of the stones thereof to clear out the rocks, and planted it with the choicest of vines, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And God looked at that; it should bring forth grapes, good fruit, tame fruit. But it brought forth wild grapes, bad fruit. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, you judge. I ask you, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard, what, verse 4, could I have done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? And wherefore, or why, when I looked that it should bring forth good fruit, grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. 5. And now I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard, that is, God is about to bring forth judgment. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up. Now that doesn't sound very important, but if you take away a hedge, the protection of God, you're in grave jeopardy from everything and anything. And it should be eaten up. And he will break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. This is Jerusalem now. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. And I also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. Why is that significant? Well, because the scientists will tell you that weather just occurs and at random and it's all on its own. Well, it's not. God controls the rain, the wind, the fire, the lightning, the storms, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the cyclones, the tornadoes, you name it. He controls it all. He has total control of the earth, its weather, and everything to do with it. The sun, the moon, the stars that go around our orbit. 7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are its pleasant plant. And he, that is God, looked for judgment, that is, right thinking, right decisions, but behold, found oppression for righteousness. That's a bad thing. But behold, a cry. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field. In other words, that join hand in hand in these things, till there be no place for anybody else but this group of hand in hand, house to house, living wickedly bunch of people. And they've done this that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. That is, they separate themselves because they're better than everybody else or whatever's going on in their minds, and thinking they're blessed and prosperous and something better than they are. In verse 9, in mine ears, saith the Lord of hosts, of a truth, many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair houses, without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath. 10 acres. will only produce 8.5 gallons. That's a bath. The seed of a homer, which is 11 bushels. They plant 11 bushels of seed, they get back 1.1. So all of it will be stricken on its production. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that is, drink. They're captive like alcoholics. They continue until night, until wine inflames them, or alcohol inflames them. And the harp and the viola, and the tambret and the pipe and the wine are in the feast, but they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands, all the things he's created and given to them and done. But they are quick to party. In other words, strong drinking wine till late at night, pipe and playing the pipe and the viola and the timbrets and so on at their feast. 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity. You could say gone into sin, because sin is captivity, and that includes us in our time, in our day. Whenever we sin willfully against God, we are captive to it. It's what controls our life, and it's our master. Until we're turned from it, repented of it, and begged forgiveness of God for it, and the blood of Jesus covers it. There's no escape from the captivity of sin. So they are gone into captivity, and the reason is because they have no knowledge of truth, or they've rejected it, or don't want to hear it, but they have no knowledge of what the truth is. They become complacent and happy in their little drinking, partying scenario. And their honorable men are famished, meaning they're wore down, and their multitude is dried up with thirst, because he stopped the rain. In verse 6, no rain shall come upon it. So he's droughting them. And their multitude dry up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory and their multitude, right, and their big numbers, and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into hell. And the mean man shall be brought down, the tough man. And the mighty man shall be humbled, the strongest ones around, the best fighters. And the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled, but the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment. And God, that is holy, shall be sanctified in his righteousness. So we'll do this in two parts because it's a long chapter. Get in the Word, stay in the Word. Get on your knees before you enter the Holy Bible, that the Holy God may reveal in his Holy Bible all that you needed in your life today and every day. Have a good day.